Welcome, welcome, folks. We are back here with the ESL One Katowice SEA qualifiers, and we have reached the decider. That's right. We have seen teams sent home in tears. We have seen teams sweat and toil to get to this finals, and we are finally here for this best of 5 with a 1-game advantage for the upper bracket victors, which of course is Lotac. And while their opponents, it is going to be the only TNC Predators. One and only nowadays, considering that Tigers is no longer TNC. That took me like a decent 2 months to get over.
Yeah, really?
Well, I kept calling them TNC instead of Tigers.
I mean, you should have been calling them Tigers already anyway.
Nah, well, it's like, yeah. I'm not going to lie, right? You could have just kicked them and taken their name, because like TNC Tigers versus TNC Predators, like Tigers does sound kind of cooler. But then Predators is like big sponsor, right? Yeah. So it's like you had to go with it. But we know secretly like Tigers are pretty cool. You know what else is cool? Drafts, which we have one of those.
This is a pretty cool draft already. Because Lotac have snatched up the Brewmaster that TNC really like to follow that Lich pickup with. But they don't get that, and instead they get, I know this is their second favorite choice for, like, if they can't get the Brewmaster, they get the Centaur Warrunner. They do pretty much the same with it. It's either Tim's or Rior, and he's just gonna frontline and be that huge annoyance.
Big part of the early lane phase at the moment is these layering type heroes. So, for example, you pick something like Centaur, you're then looking towards something like a Grimstroke or a Lich. That is one combo you can potentially run. At the same time, Centaur offers you a lot of flexibility. He can be the 4, he can be the 3.
Yes, and Lotac wisely snap up that Sand King after. I don't think we've seen them play it yet. No, they always went for the Brewmaster themselves. And
Detonators were the ones in love with the Sand King against them. I mean, Detonators in love with the Sand King in general.
And I'm sure that's why TNC let it through this time. They didn't think Lotac would have it on their minds, but they did. So they have 2 flexible 3-4 picks right now. But at least that means that TNC does know one lane already.
That is true. Like, you're looking at this, either the Brewmaster or the Sand King are the 3, the other one should be the 4. Now, most regions have been running the Sand King exclusively as a 3 at the moment, but I believe SEA is the one region I've been seeing it ran in the 4. Especially the aforementioned Detonators were running it between RR and SAMH.
And I'm actually a little bit surprised at the anti-mage and void. Okay, I guess I can see it as well, because an IM is on one hand going to suffer in lane against these two, but on the other hand they're also going to have a harder time. And then the void, of course, to make sure their mobile heroes don't get picked off as much. On the other side, very typical bans from TNC. Magnus is a high priority ban normally, but especially against Lotac, you never let that through, ever.
And Lotac doing something a little bit different. We haven't seen much of this in SEA is Lone Druid. Yes. At least not in these qualifiers.
I'm also not sure who plays it for them. I'm sure Raven could. I'm also sure Ohio could, but neither of them is really an expert, which is what you usually want. And it's also a bit of a risky pickup against... Yeah, it's a risky pickup against Lich. It's not the greatest against Centaur either. And Phantom Assassin is another one of those gap closers that, sure, you can roar her away once. She retreats for a bit, then she daggers you and she jumps on you again.
That is a big thing, of course. The roar can be very useful against Stampede initiation, because you can actually turn it on them with that and just force them to run away. Similar to the whole PL Lone Druid interaction, where you finally watch him Phantom Rush towards you, and then Phantom Rush away.
Whee!
Like, good retreat, good retreat. But yeah, the Lone Druid probably going to be ran in the mid. That has been the most typical location we've been seeing it since the 7.20 patch. Trap. Yes. I say trap. It is a trap. It's an agi trap. They're everywhere.
And we're getting the Winter Wyvern, which is also a bit of a block pick, because that's the kind of support that I know is also a good pickup against the Lone Druid. It's well, it's not very funny to see a Lone Druid smash his own bear to bits, but he is very good at that, especially now that everyone's playing the ranged form.
Yeah, we're definitely above board. Peta, don't look here. We are reasonable people, and now TNC, they need to make a reasonable laning part. You could put the Lich with the Phantom Assassin. It's most likely that they're going to do that. So you're probably looking more at either mid or your Centaur pairing. Like, you can't pick up the mid now as you don't have the final pick. That could easily be either the 4 or the 2. I've seen a few instances of Skywrath being ran in the mid.
Yes. With how TNC has been playing, I would actually expect this to be the mid. Tims loves his... of course, Rior gave an excellent centaur performance earlier, so he could be playing that, and centaur Skywrath lane is nothing to laugh at. But at the same time, I know Skywrath Mage is a favorite of Tim's. He plays it extremely well. Man can take over a game from position 2 if he wants to. And it's an excellent Winter Wyvern counter, because previous game we saw the value of that Cold Embrace, but against the Mystic Flare, I don't think so. You're basically putting someone down there to get flared and take the entire force of the ultimate.
It's basically just signaling ult here.
Yeah.
Just a little ping for your opponent.
Draws the little circle for you. It's like overlap.
Oh, convenient. So, the Skywrath mid would put TNC in a rapid motion where they just have to run into this mid game plowing through their opponents. That is the crux of this pick, is Skywrath, like, you can stack the nulls, you do a stupid amount of damage, but you are still incredibly squishy, rather. Like, you can be turned around on very easily. And
that would not be the easiest to pull off against a Brewmaster. So, as much as I like the idea of the Skywrath mid, it's probably gonna be a position 4. That sounds like the wisest decision. Like, something else that I wanted to mention for TNC here is that I want to make sure that they do what they do in the last game, which is make sure that Armel moves and Gabi secures the game. Because with Cuckoo on the team, they could swap that up because they had this third core that knew how to enable both. But things seem a bit more wobbly at the moment, and whether that is because of the mental state of the team or because of playing with Rior, I guess both of them are in play. I wouldn't advise them to start swapping it up just yet. Just first close out this qualifier, have a carry, have a mid that can move, that can make plays.
Admiral Conker.
And that does seem to be the case here.
Well, this is, once again, this could be a support Kunka. We have seen that in this qualifier. There is a lot of uncertainty. Like, you can weigh likelihoods if you're Lotac right now, but you look at TNC's lineup, you go, Scarf could be a 4, Kunka could be a 4.
Yes.
They could both be mids.
But you can make reasonable assumptions, though. Like, of course, they have surprised me before. I'm not gonna say it's 100% here, but I would expect the Kunka mid, the Skywrath 4, especially because I favor Rior on that centaur. And then it would be between Tims and Armel on the last 2 heroes.
Well, we'll get a chance to see what Lotac are thinking right now. This will reveal whether the Lone Druid is going to be mid or safe lane. It's looking like the mid hero right now. It doesn't match up badly against the Kunka either. Of course, you do have Tidebringer, but early on, it's a big cooldown. You can't really harass as effectively, so you are doing a 2-on-1 lane when you think about it, with the bear damage plus the Lone Druid.
I'm checking to see if they've ran the LD before, and they did actually. Let's see who played it.
Oh,
there's
wow!
the Razor pick again, yeah, and
Yeah,
the Lone
like
Druid is Raven, so this is Chiwan. We have seen him perform excellently on a hero before.
And this is a good matchup for him as well. It's a melee hero up against a Razor, and at the same time, it's one that is heavily reliant on his physical damage.
And they switched it up now.
Yeah, they had to. There was no choice.
And it's like Lotac picked the Razor knowing that that's going to happen. Like, you're basically forcing their hand. You're saying, all right, you want the flexibility to put that Skywrath mid? Fine. Play us with Skywrath mid. Come at us. And that is exactly what's going to happen. I don't dislike it, though. I was secretly hoping for that, because you never get to see Skywrath mid, and it's such a dominant pick in the right situations. And it could be here, right? Because he can always last hit, even if his damage is stolen. He's going to do silly amounts of damage. The Winter Wyvern has no way to save people from him. So, yeah, I like this last pick, but I also like that TNC already had the swap up built in.
Yeah, but don't forget, like, on top of that, Razor, he's not going to be able to lash much damage off here because, well, Skywrath moves particularly fast, alright? And as a result of that, Static Link isn't going to get you great value. At the same time, you are tanky, so you can just handle the harassment to an extent. But let's say you make an early rotation, you get a Razor kill. Skyraf is the type of hero that completely snowballs out of control. Like, he dominates the lane from there on out.
He cannot push towers though, and that's where I see a bit of an issue for TNC. There's going to be a lot of siege coming out from Lotac. They're going to have this Razor and this Lone Druid just wailing away at TNC's towers. They're going to have Ohio to zone with, just like we've seen Tims do before. And in comparison, TNC really has to win a fight before they get to take a tower, and they'll also have the high ground problem, where I don't see a good way for them to take a fight up the high ground. They'll have to find a pick-off, or in the worst event, they'll just have to put someone on the front lines and hope that they can counter-engage well enough.
Well, we'll see if their hopes and dreams can carry them through, as we are ready to get underway with Game 1, but second in terms of score. Between these two teams, that's right, Lotac with the 1-game advantage going into this after coming through the upper bracket. It's all on TNC to try and just build some momentum going into this. They beat their last opponents, but it was hard-earned. We're going to probably get a chance to see how they handle that kind of rebuttal, because this is a big thing for teams right now. Is there's an argument on like this, you know, immediately play afterwards scenario, and I think it's usually based on the team. Some teams can get burnt out, other ones just kind of
continue momentum. Yes. Yeah. Which part? No, Raven is such a fluffy little marshmallow. You don't punch him. That's not what you do.
Oh, the face. Okay.
Tims was not the one requesting. I think Ohio shouldn't listen. After the game, sure.
Now you just want the cocky part where he says, should take us about 2 hours, and then when TNC counter, they go, wait, that's 2 games. Son of a...
Yeah. The swap up does put Tims in a bit of a weird position though, because he doesn't exactly have a great lane combo. If he's with the Centaur, both of these heroes really want a setup to hit their stun first. And that's not gonna happen. And Ninja Boogie is like, the gaze is a setup.
Yeah, I think the way to look at Kunkka is this type of hero. He fell off in terms of popularity as a support when the roaming meta died, because it's a hero that's kind of predictable in the lane, and he can't really rely heavily on X because it's such a large cooldown at low levels. It's not really something you can spam out to win a lane.
Yes. Well, at least he's going to still get to do what he likes, which is spamming taunts while walking away from enemies.
I mean, that's all that matters.
It is.
It's one of the best taunts.
Getting into people's heads, it matters. And also, not having to switch playstyles in between matches matters a lot for that sustainability that you just said. Like, can you last in a series? Well, if you're just playing the same kind of style, which is hitting people in the face a lot and annoying them for 5 games in a row, then yeah, sure.
Why not? Sounds good to me. Let's see if TNC can make something happen, because they are starting with the 3 heroes up here. Now, TNC, they have this tendency to invest pretty heavily in that try-start and then switch out. And yes, they're not the kind of team that gives it 1 shot and then leaves, is what we've noticed as well. That's the part to watch for, is if they quickly identify it's not going to work and move away. Yes,
I've had the feeling that they sometimes don't quite know when to stop it. We've seen Rior suffer, especially in the second game that they lost today against Detonators. It was rough for Rior, and in the meanwhile, Tims himself didn't get off to a good start just because that tri lane was getting killed.
Absolutely. And it looks like Kunkka's going to move about now. Tims lingering in the mid lane, but this is not a kill lane. It's just a long, long walk by.
Yes, I suppose it's worth throwing the Torrent out there, but you're also kind of forcing your mid to go in, and Armel is not very tanky. If he...
You can't with creep wave there. Like, the way you play Skyraf mid it's a perfect example of a midder that is reliant on the creep wave and more than anything else.
Really can't come close at all. Like, especially at almost safe range, it's the most dangerous because of that plasma field, and he could just go splat right now.
Yeah, look at the movement in. There it is. First blood. Chuan. He's like, where is the regen? All right, I'll get you back to base with full HP, Mr. Skyraf. And that's the threat. He put 2 points into the plasma field. And maybe Armel wasn't expecting it because it's not a regular thing you see at the moment. But in this type of lane, it's exactly what you do.
I don't like to be right in cases like this. I really don't. That's just a sad way to go out. And Armel really has to pay attention to what he's doing right now. But at least he didn't lose too much in the terms of EXP.
The biggest problem, though, is like you see him just spamming out right now, but when you look at what Xian has, he brought plenty of regen. Like, he anticipated this sort of harassment.
Well, I better use this stick.
It's going to be fine. Lich won't in the top, though. Yamate will be able to back away in response. So Gabby can find nothing right now. And Lotac already off to a great start here in
That was
lane.
a very clever net rotation, because he was on the bot lane first. He got his level 2 there, and then he moved his way up. Just when Tim's had moved his way out.
I just keep watching mid. This is I'm just watching torture occur here. It's like he is trading evenly with a Razor, and Razor's investment is so much lower.
Yes. But the Skywrath is also going to peak harder. I said before, he's going to have to rotate. He's going to have to get so much out of that, even now.
Yeah, but if you start to fall behind in XP, that's the worrying factor, right? Like, you want to build these stats, just up your damage. You're not really looking to tank up, whereas, I mean, we don't see it too often because you don't see people focus on this type of laner to win, is raindrops and the impact. The reason that heroes like Skywrath and Queen of Pain have kind of started to really curb off in terms of their pick rates for the mid.
Yes. It is huge. We're going to see if Lotac has the presence of mind that they need in order to decide, oh yeah, we should buy some of these again. Because when those heroes fell off, the raindrops also fell off, and those effects are often delayed.
We in Dota like to have someone to moan about. For a while, pro players were outraged at raindrops and the time in which you could buy them.
And then 2-minute runes.
Yep, and then now it's Magnus being a free Battle Fury, which has been a thing for a long time. We're working down the list, basically.
Yeah, and there's always new things getting added, because it's humans. Humans are never content.
Yamate taking a lot of damage up here. Raven actually blocking him off. There's the roar coming through just in time. Can he move away? Flies across the trees just in time before Gabby can throw out the dagger. But he's about to break the trees. They see him anyway. They'll get the kill.
Good persistence.
And Skywrath again in the mid lane. They brought in the Sand King this time. They find another kill on RML.
Yes, Tim's was rotating in, but he was just about too late. Net was already there, and Tim's has to back off towards bot lane. But he abandoned that because there was no way they were getting a kill on Ohio.
Speaking of Tim's, the double torrent. Ohio, yes!
He gets
the
it.
rune.
And he gets it for his bottle too. That's very important.
And Tim's needs to back away very fast, actually. Burrow Striker's coming off cooldown in 2 seconds. Rio trying to zone them out. The Stomp's going to be there. Tims will get far enough away, and Net is forced to just stun onto the creep wave. The X draw back into the torrent. Tims taking a lot of damage from the crits, though. Ohio will get the kill first. That goes down afterwards, but that means the XP for the Sand King, not for the Kunkka.
Yes. Rior gets him with the retaliate hit. That's just
Pretty crazy spell, the way that works now. Centaur has become a right-click god in many ways.
Like he gets a good way to not have to, because previously Double Edge was a bit of a problem spell in that, especially at the lower levels when you yourself didn't have much magic defense yet, you would hit yourself so hard. And right now he can just burst hit people anyway without actually having to expend his own health.
So what you're saying
Bit
is
silly.
Retaliate stacked up, then Mask of Madness go. We're not at that stage yet. I am actually waiting for that to just happen.
Are we at the stage where Armel dies mid again? Ooh, no.
Not quite, but Sand King's waiting.
Extremely close.
The Burrow Strike,
No.
plasma field move in. Armel. Oh, Sun's coming out Xion, but he can't stand against this. Armel taking too much damage. They're going to dive tower. Salve used, but he's slowed down. Net will fall, but Xion gets the kill again.
At least Ned got the experience from the net kill just before that, so there's something for him now. But yeah, he's level, well, nearly level 6. Xion is halfway to level 8.
The disparity is increasing, and it is becoming concerning because we saw from Lotac the other day. That was the deciding factor, as they invested in the Razor and he carried them through the mid game and just infected the rest of the map.
Yes. And then all that's needed is for Raven to come through, and Raven will always come through with Gary. That man is stable as a rock.
Especially with how strong Lone Druid is right now.
Yes.
Just build a few Wraith Bands, then take your choice. Do you want a Maelstrom? Do you want to go like big crits? Well, I've seen it all, and it all seems to be pretty impactful.
Yeah. And now that they've got Ryor's 6, they've moved Gabby to the bot lane, which is a good decision, because he was not getting enough out of that top lane. And if I know how Lotac plays, Ohio is only going to be dangerous and active with his ult, and he's going to trade farm the rest of the time.
But at the same time, you're level 4 PA here. And
Net.
Ohio notices. And they just steal the creeps. Like, you are level 4 PA, as I said. You can't... You have to fall for that.
Yes. Yes, but that could have been way worse. If Ned realized he was there earlier, Gabby would have died. There's a primal split on Ohio. He is playing with fire here.
Just sharing the CS. Gabby snatches one, luckily for him. But, yeah, he needs to get to at least level 6 before he's even mildly threatening. But even then, coup de grace level 1 is not this high impact. You have to get to 12 as quickly as possible. That's why PA is ran mid so often.
Yes. She really needs that burst. And then you also need a tiny little bit of luck from RNGesus.
One crow do. He hit hard enough by them with a few Ray fans. And Raven, they're going to try and hit hard on him. Nope. Roar comes out in time. Someone forgot that the bear exists.
I mean, let's face it, it's mostly a walking roar machine right now.
It is.
You could
it just
reasonably
tanks.
forget.
That's all the bear does these days.
Tim's is off a little bit again. That always worries me.
Ohio, going on the ball again. Yep, Gabby once again defensive. They don't want to commit the split unless it's a sure deal. And, well, Sand King can't easily get close. It's only a level 2 Burrow Strike and nowhere near level 6 anytime soon.
Yes. Well, there are no Ninja Boogies down here now. Which means that with Tim's babysitting mid, it's just Roar alone on top, and they don't have to be very scared of him.
Absolutely, especially with the Wyvern up here, with the Arctic Burn, you're going to tick through the Centaur pretty quickly. He does have the Stampede, though, so it's not actually a kill you can commit onto.
Let's see. PA is getting in trouble.
Oh, they're going to look for her here. High chasing through the Drunken Brawler. Still not committing the split. He knows there's a Phantom Strike jump away. The Ninja Boogie puts the Frost Armor on just to be safe.
Yes.
But the real action might happen mid. Net, he's put down a ward. He snuck around the back. They might try and find Kunkka. They have to realize Skywrath is no longer here. He went top. They're trying to secure the runes. But you immediately see the move by Raven. He comes bot. He's like, okay, these runes are ours. Maybe we find a kill as well as they try and contest.
And Net is going to see Tim's here from the top side.
You can actually snatch that rune as well. Thank you. See you later. Extra back. Skywrath says, oh, kills are coming to us now. Net has no escape from that one.
Yeah, you don't need to Mystic Fire this.
He'll go down. They did force PA away from the bot, and Rio did respond down there. Need to be careful. He tried to get the split off. Frost Armor coming out. He'll just stand up against this Rio, being harassed a little bit by Raven. He's stacking up the retaliates, but at the same time, how do you actually reach this lone druid? You have to commit the Stampede, but as long as they're not too close together, you never lock them down, so the split always comes out.
They're just going to try to keep this tower alive as long as possible, but with Chuan coming in from the side, I'm not sure for how long they can do this. And on the other side, we have Yamate doing his Winter Wyvern thing. He's got 3 levels in Splinter Blast, so he's looking a lot better.
And the bot. They're going. Stampede came out. They got a little bit of damage with the Static Link, and now Armel showing up as well. Looking on Chuan. The Sansa's going to be there. The split's been used, though. They need to do something fast, so they need to get out. Rio trying to move in. Holds onto the Stomp because doesn't have an opportunity. But there's the Burrow Strike timed perfectly. Rio in trouble. Rude on the spot. The Torrent won't keep him alive, though. He'll go down. They're chasing for more. Can they find Ohio? He could go for the lift. Decides not to. They say no. Let them walk away.
Here. They can push the tower now. The PA alone cannot fight into Yamate.
It's going to be a tower for nada. You can see PA just trying to push top. As you said, Yamate, he doesn't give a damn right now about Gabby. He doesn't scare anyone.
This is one of those things, if you have a hero that fulfills a very specific function, then you can use more forces elsewhere. This is just one hero to hold a tower. He can do this against 2 or 3 as well in the right composition. Which means that you get to deploy many more forces elsewhere, and that is a big strength right now. So you gotta move on this tower, or with more people, or you gotta force the Winter Wyvern away first. And that's a big commitment of resources to a position 5.
And let's not forget, when you look at the mid matchup, you did hit on it in the draft that Skyrock can't push towers, but it's more than that. He is forced to respond to anything Razor does. He's not able to get proactive himself because he always just has to mirror the movements of this Razor.
Yes. I'd like Tims to get the mid lane actually, and not the bot right here. Then again, Skywrath doesn't really jungle either, so it's a rough choice no matter what, but Tims might be able to clear the wave a little bit more efficiently, whereas Armel is just, he's going to have to sit here while Razor happily jungles and gets away from him in farm.
You can already see the lead building. Skywrath at 4k, but Razor past the 5k mark, and smoke comes out. TNC say, we've got an active lineup, we need to do something. And they are going to go searching. The smoke pops. Net will burrow straight down the low ground. Stampede being used. They need vision on this. He's trying to just cut through the trees. Sandstorm comes out and he says, did you bring detection? I don't think you did. And he'll just go for the TP away. Oh, they stomp him.
That
Mystic Flare. Sand King just going to move away though. He's going to hang around. Because the Frost Shield doesn't connect with Invis targets. As they are probably now realizing as Net comes out, looking good on HP.
Yeah. With those Tranquil Boots, he's going to be just fine. That's a waste of resources for TNC. Waste of time.
Tian just wasting Gabby's time. And it's a correct way of looking at it because for Razor, his job is just to slow things down, annoy the crap out of people, whereas they really need this Phantom Assassin to start getting items.
Yeah, all eggs are in the Gabby basket once again. And I said that I favor that solution, but at the same time, you gotta have someone who makes space for him. And even Rior, who's top of their net worth right now, he's got this Vanguard, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. I want him to make his way towards that Blink Dagger as fast as possible so that they have some kind of threat on these Dire Heroes as the lanes are gonna get longer with the towers falling.
Yeah, looks like that's what the side of Lotac are going to do now as they push him for this tier 1. Should be able to find it. Ohio's lingering around. He does have this split. They're going to back up a little bit to see if they can bait anyone in. And Armel, he does get the deny at least. Nice down that little backswing doesn't matter.
With that tiny little boop, you really have no damage as a Skywrath Mage at all.
You're not really picked for your right clicks. I mean, in fairness, you get a lot of in, but not much else to go with it. It's all about casting the spells here, and right now, like what he's doing is assessing his targets, right? How do you go after this Razor with 1.5k HP?
You don't. Raven's assaulting the bot tower.
He is. He's been X'd up. Bo's coming in. Torrent on this spot, trying to move away. The Mystic Flare's there. They're going to try and tank out with the Brewmasters. They should be able to do it. Now Tim's has to back away. Golden Brace will protect. Silence comes out. Raven getting low. The X get drawn back on the back foot, though. Ninja Boogie being chased on by Chian. We will fall. Brings it back in. Cyclone out in the Skywrath. Now the Winner's Curse is there as well. And Tim's, he's in trouble. He's burning up quick. The boat, it's not going to keep him alive anymore as the run buff runs out. Raven's still fighting up against. He's going to move in with Gabby. Looking for the crits. Is it enough? So much armor they'll get through him, but they lose Skywrath, and they will lose the Phantom Assassin as well. We're trying to move away, but they see everything as they just pursue under tower.
She has another Blink Strike?
I don't think it matters. There should be a Plasma Field. Plasma Field still on cooldown for 4 seconds. Salve! They're trying to slow things down. Ninja Boogie, he's done it. He keeps him alive. They couldn't go any deeper.
Did you see Gabby faking in just a little bit to make them stop walking before Blink struck out again? That's beautiful.
More importantly,
it's about those tiny details.
More importantly, the big detail was Ninja Boogie. If he didn't walk in suicidally with that Frost Blast, they are screwed.
I have high expectations for Mike at this point. After seeing how many times he saved his course as his previous game, this is almost par for the course, and that is high praise.
This is the everyone's an idiot mentality, right? Yeah. As a support player, you go, my cores are gonna screw up.
Yeah.
Gotta be there to correct them.
You know, it's like you have a bunch of children. Just alright, this one's gonna take a nap. This one needs to get fed. This one.
This one is feeding. And Sand King, they're trying for him again. Burrow Strike away though. Whoops! Pings come out. He timed it perfectly for the X drawback, and now they're going to turn around. Real. He's got no Stampede to work with. Yules on the spot. Going to come down into a mess maybe. The Static Link is just stacking up the damage, but the X drawback means they have to retreat. Armel's on his way in right now, looking on the net. Doesn't have the Sandstorm, but does have the Burrow Strike to escape. Looking to turn around. There's the Mystic Flare come through the silence as well. Razor dies way too fast. In the bot lane though, Ninja Boogie goes in, and he gets killed.
He got the creep wave down though, which means that this tower, they can either bring in someone to defend it again, or at least it lasts for another 30 seconds before new creep wave comes in.
And it's good that TNC find these kills, but the biggest concern is it's like this Razor knows that every once in a while there's gonna be a backlash from this aggression.
Yes.
The good news for him, we talked about an issue for TNC that's not the same way, is that for Lotac, there's this other guy that's going to back you up later on. Raven is just farming the entire time.
Yes. He hasn't had to do anything really. I mean, he got to hit some towers. That was nice. But he's already made his way into the Maelstrom. And I see double ban of Elven Skin, so I expect that that's going to be...
Dragon Lance coming out.
Lance next, yeah. And then it's going to be basically impossible to jump in. He can push anything, and he melts creep waves.
And it looks like Rio's getting very close to that Blink Dagger, but on the other side of the field, Net. Well, his net worth is bringing him ever closer. He's up to 1,800 gold right now. It won't be long before the Sand King has a Blink Dagger of his own.
So Rior disappears. And Ned must be thinking, okay, that should be the blink time.
We actually might see the double blink reveal at this rate as well. Ohio's up to 1900 gold.
And he's got the Vlads already as well. This is great for the Lone Druid.
Decent lead already building for the side of Lotac as they have a 3k net worth lead over the side of TNC.
And this Phantom Assassin only just finished her Battle Fury. This is 18 minutes. That is... We've seen in the past couple of games, I think, all the games where the PA won, she had like an early Battle Fury. And this does not rank.
The Armateur has been found.
Oh!
That's their blink reveal. Not the biggest pick-off, but they'll take it nonetheless. Anything to throw in the Combine Harvester right now.
At least their farm rate is going to go up now. And while Armel is behind, he is not disastrously behind. They still have some gold left to pick up in the form of those dire towers. There haven't actually been a lot of towers picked up in general.
They don't have the best aggression onto towers, right? Like, that's always the awkward issue. You hit this in the draft, the TNC have to get a pick-off before they can go for anything.
Yes. Well, I'm more surprised at Lotac's tempo. They could have done more, and especially before the blink daggers, it means that you've got less threat on your split pushing heroes. So you could have definitely, for example, you could have pushed top while Net was farming his blink dagger on bot, and I don't think they could have caught Net anyway, because no blinks and trying to catch his hand king.
Yeah, they've been very interested in this bot tower, and occasionally Raven will show up. For the most, he's been farming safe, while the rest of his team has been taking the risk. And after that one backlash for Razor, he's suddenly been very defensive. They're going to fix that though. They're moving in. They see Ninja Boogie. It's in the tree, stunned up and dead. No chance for the Chain Frost at all. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Armateur just using the Winner's Curse to make sure PA can't respond and can't push either, as they will be able to take the tier 2 for nothing.
Well, nothing. That's 4 heroes committed.
Yeah, but like, they're going to keep going. They might actually just force them back here. Yeah, they get 2 to come back to base and they'll just move across.
They had the right ward coverage for that as well. Though, when the PA notices that this Ancient Camp doesn't respawn, this Ops is going to get...
Oh no, Raven has been found. They hold the stomp as he's trying to move away. The roar comes out. Stampede completely fluffed. Reinforcements close enough that he's not scared at all. And
yeah, you could see Armel coming from the flank trying to get vision for a bolt.
Yeah, it's a good thing he left as well, because Ohio was wrapping around with a DD at the top. He was getting ready for a pick, like a solo pick off onto the Skyrift there.
Well, Gabby has reclaimed top net worth.
He has, but he's fighting hard for it with Raven. And it's more that case, like Raven is approaching the point where he can be very active, and he is building in a way that he's going to go for these pushes. Like, that's the big concern, is that Gabby is saying, I want to farm. And even when you get the Death Slayer, you help out on hitting towers, but you haven't got that rapid attack speed that a Lone Druid gets.
Well, I was saying about the tempo of Lotac before, right, and their focus on this bot lane. Something that it's also caused is that they haven't used the Primal Split in like forever. They're going to come in now with that Ohio Blink Dagger, and I think Armel's going to...
There it is. Yeah, Armel, he is going to be food for the cooking. They surround him, Rio with a stun, only hits on the bear, the roar comes out. Armel will be able to force stuff to safety, but Centaur is going to be left behind. The Chain Frost starts to bounce around, but they are so damn tanky they don't even give a damn about it. They shrug it off and walk away.
That's a reasonable sacrifice there, though.
They had no choice, but look at this. This just enables Rosh. Chuan got a decent amount of damage stolen as well, and Raven's feeling big enough and bad enough to just walk into the pit and fight.
Yeah, they're going to melt this Rosh, even without any minus armor.
Torrent reveals what TNC already know.
I don't think TNC has enough teamfight to contest it. Like, they're coming in.
Poke through. They can split out of the pit. Ohio moves away. Raven just tanks the whole thing, doesn't care. Net moving in. Clap comes out from Ohio. Tim's protected by the shield. And they do enough. They're actually going to try and force stuff away. They force something deeper. Tim's a little bit of trouble here. Can't move away quick enough. And Shion says, great, more static link damage. I was not hitting hard enough.
They've got enough time for the Centaur to come back in, though.
Yeah, but they've got no boat now. Lotac, they will at least respect the buyback. A Torrent in a choked up location with 3+ heroes can screw you over a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Net is still dancing on Rosh, though.
And the boat doesn't have that big of a cooldown. Next time, boat's up.
Oh, stop. Moving in. Mystic Flare coming out. Ohio. They might be able to get him. His silenced up. He can't do anything. John just being kited out. No one getting close enough to give him the static link. And now Burrow Strike connecting on the Tims. He did buy back on this. Boat available in 15 seconds. Draw it. Net. Almost dead to the crit. Needs to move away. Winner's Curse does come out. They're going to turn around and end up killing off Tims. Armel does get the double kill, though, to finish off Net. Stomp's going to be there. Chion. A little bit of trouble. Buy back up.
Does not want to go on that target.
Gabby's going to go. Gabby's walked in the pit. He's going to try for this. John's going to walk in and see he needs to start link right now, but the cleave damage is hurting so much. He's going to be cold and braced up, but the magical damage will just burst him down. Now coming in, the stomp's going to be there. They secure the Aegis. Gabby picks it up. Ultra kill for Armel. He is just melting through the side of Lotac, and Raven has to run for the high heels. The buyback from Razor will achieve nothing, or will at least Gabby? No! He moves away with a Phantom Strike. The return damage from the Plasma Field doesn't hit.
Oh, Lotac. That brief hesitation where they get out of the pit, that is like, oh, I understand it so well, because you feel like, okay, they did the clever trade, we just back off now. But the problem is that the Rosh is too low, and you have this Phantom Assassin on the opposite team. With
the Desolator, of course. Just walks in and goes, okay, I've got the minus armor to just burn through this quickly.
Yes, and Rior does his job so well there. He just goes in, he knows that he needs to keep all eyes on him in order to let Armel do all of those things and keep being that long distance artillery that just keeps shooting out so much damage. And they did it correctly. Without Ohio split, they didn't have enough tools anymore. Ned seemed to be split off to the side and not sure where to go.
And Armel, fully in this game, proves himself with the ultra kill, picks up the Yasha and Kai now. He is a force to be reckoned with, and now with that Desolator, Gabby can make a decent deal of pushing into towers.
I want to
we discuss.
Give a little bit extra appreciation to his 4-staff pickup as well.
It paid off, saved his life once, twice, 3 times a lady.
And it's going to save many more, because they can break the link every time it happens now.
Indeed. Ohio just trying to slow down things here, because now Gabby having that second life. This is the most confident we've seen this Phantom Assassin all game.
Yes.
Confidence will increase because she's getting ever closer to that level 20 talent. The triple dagger. The world is your oyster.
And Raven was pushing on this top tower, but because TNC was completely out of sight, he seemed to have decided against it. And he TP'd back to base instead. So there's no trades here now either. And I'm sure he's gonna like hit himself in the head when he sees that they're actually on top of this block tower.
I think the biggest issue he's had, that we've realized, is he tried to play a farming race against the Phantom Assassin that committed to a Battle Fury. And we're starting to see that he's losing this race.
Yes, he is now.
A little bit hard to compete with it. Even with the Maelstrom, even with the fast attack speed. Lone Druid, I mean, we expected to see him more active actually after his start.
Yes.
As you said, Lotac, they seem to have just let up off the neck, and suddenly TNC are biting back.
We have seen so many Lone Druids take over games from 15 minutes. They get their 3 Wraith Bands, they get their first item, and they dominate the map because they know nobody can fight them. But it feels like Raven hasn't exactly played in the new patch, he's only seen it.
Oh, Tims. Oh, Tims. Epicenter being charged up, they definitely want this kill. He's going to go for the TP away though. No! Yules is there. Sean gets across in time. Stampede to try and get him out. They're going to be able to chase through though. Can they connect? Net has got the blink.
Yeah.
And Tims now has no life.
No chance. Though Gabby?
He's going to go in. John! Oh, the crit straight away. He identified that no static link was available. Now they're going to fight with more, but no. Brewmaster.
Oh, no.
Ohio, he tried for the split, but Armel, he gets a silence out in time. Yamate forced to use the Winter's Curse again for nothing but to run away.
He gets to live, I think? Yeah.
Look at our range, but you are just handing control of this game over to TNC when you have to do that.
Yes, that was really bold from Gabby to just go in there, but he knows his team is behind him and he's got the Aegis, so he can make a jump on a Razor, especially after the Razor has already used his link. There is nothing a Razor can do then but try to hit back, but you are not the target he's still damaged from.
Yes, and it's not just that, the Yules as well. It still had a few seconds left. He couldn't even try and turn around and get her up in the air. By then, he was done for. And Gabby, he's not done. Blur, looking to move back in here.
Yeah, after carrying his way out of that last game, I think his confidence has really improved again. So much of the game is just about mental state. This is... You wouldn't think that this is the man who got completely wrecked on the Morphling not 2 hours ago.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Or the Timbersaw, excuse me, the Morphling was ML.
And we're going that direction with Ohio right now. It's like this guy left his own devices farm so well. He's... Like, we talked about the lack of splits. They seem to be the way they want to play it, but now there's not even an opportunity. They just get sniped out by the Centaur or the Skywrath every time.
And that silence from the Ancient Seal, it takes 6 seconds. 6 seconds. You're a Brewmaster. You're tanky. You can even hit some people, get some life back. But 6 full seconds of not getting to split, especially if they only silence you after 1 second or 2, because you're going to be saving it, right? First couple of times.
Especially with how hard the Skywrath hits, you can't actually tank up against that. And well, at this point, he's probably feeling happy that the Ancient Seal cooldown wasn't taken, but it doesn't matter. There's too much damage coming out.
Gabby's got a BKB. He says, beam me up, Scotty.
He's got a Basher actually waiting for him, by the way.
Also?
Yes.
Good grief.
He's been stacking gold. Now Gabby going in. Cold Embrace comes out. Yamato says not like this. Stampede, they draw back. Look at this stomp. Don't go in. Ohio, the target. Can they get him? Yes. Crit down. No split again. The winner's curse coming out as Gabby did use the BKB. The buyback is there on the Brewmaster. Now moving across. Chancho trying to steal the damage to the static link. It's a decent amount, but it doesn't matter. Gabby makes his escape with the Phantom Strike.
You could see how beautifully all of TNC's heroes were positioned around Gabby to make sure that he would have all kinds of targets to blink strike away to.
And Tim's with the boat to ensure the wave stays pushed in and there's no revolt. As they
It's
move
about
away.
these little efficiency plays sometimes. This is going to save at least, like, a creep wave is 30 seconds, right? At least 30 seconds on pressure of top lane, but since they're, like, their enemies are not even going top lane, which means that this wave is just going to stay in for 1.5 minutes even. It's a great play, and it doesn't cost him any time or resources because he was going back anyway.
And they also scan to make sure, like, they won't actually just re-engage. TNC want to go back in. They use the scan very smartly to identify Lotac. Are they coming out? This is where they might look to go back in. Gabby has picked up the bash now. Blur. Smoke 2.0 pays off as he moves in.
Yes, but there are pings. Lotac did.
Stomp coming out onto the Brewmaster again. Silenced up once again. No split for him. And Wyvern found the back foot as PA. Gabby just finds more and more. And Raven even commit the boat to make sure the bear dies. They'll find it. Grim tidings for Lotac.
Yes. Now what looked like a game that was completely in their control and theirs to take out has just rapidly slid away. And this is what happens when you feel comfortable and you don't pressure yourself enough.
Oh my god, the crit! Wyvern goes instantly, now the Stampede gets Gabby out. They're going to turn around the double stomp. No! They're going to find the Razor down, Sandking down. Raven all alone with his BKB, just trying to take anyone to the grave with him, but no! He might be joining his team here, trying to walk away from Gabby. He's going to go in. There it is, the dagger through. Armel gets the final touch. GG gets called.
Oh, Lord.
They know it's over as game 2. We're even. 1-1 here between the sides of Lotac and TNC. As TNC,
they really waste no time, do they?
They punished. They punished hard. The moment they saw Lotac let up, that was it.
Yeah. And I was feeling uncomfortable. I was like, you're not doing enough with your advantage. You're feeling like you've got this game and you're just going to play it out. But that's not what happens when you play against an experienced team like TNC. Because they're going to make you, like, what you need to do is you make them not feel like you're going to come back. You might even want to lose a hero here and there carefully in order to keep those lanes out, in order to drag time, but not like big smokes, big comeback plays before you're actually ready. That will put your opponent back on edge again. And they might actually start playing hard again. But Lotac, they were way too comfortable. And if you don't mind me just going on immediately,
go for it.
You were also talking about the style matchup before. And I think here we can really see that Lotac's style, which is pretty disciplined and pretty laid back, did a lot better against Detonator, which is very much a YOLO team, than against TNC, who wait for that moment and then slam the door in your face.
And that's the thing. Lotac themselves need to be a little bit more YOLO. Like, what happened is we saw Qian, well, he took a little bit too much heart with YOLO. He died once. He went, well, my game's done. He went fully defensive from there on. And Razor is this type of hero. It is a tempo carry. You have to keep applying pressure. And it seemed their mindset didn't change. Like, if they felt that way, Raven was still farming. He wasn't then going, okay, so you guys need more to win fights. I'll come and help you. They just assumed that nothing went wrong. They could have Raven still do his part of the game, but they could stop doing the other part.
Yes. the most confusing part for me was this disconnect between those three cores, because Ohio could have been doing things, Chiwan could have been doing things, Raven could have been doing things, but all of them played as if they were going to, either in Raven's case, if they were going to get enabled for the long term, and in the case of Ohio and Chiwan, they played for the other one to, you know, farm a bit and back them up.
Yeah.
But they ended up with only a single core, and against that PA, oh boy.
And more importantly, they just took a rough fight that just threw Armel back in the game. Armel looked gone. It was done.
Yeah.
And then immediately we saw Ohio, was it one split all game? I think? Two. And they were very early on.
Yes.
Like that was every time he tried after that, silence, stomp. Anything and everything they identified, if you just shut down this Brewmaster, Lotac had nothing.
Yes.
As a result of that, TNC even up the score here. 1-1 apiece. Don't panic yet, though, folks. It's not over. These are not best of threes. This is a best of 5, which means we're going to have a short break, and then we're back with Game 3 to see who can edge the lead on their way to qualifying for the ESL One Katowice event. Stay tuned, folks.